As usual, as soon as we start this program, you can pick up a telephone and give us a call. We never have a subject matter. We speak about anything: politics, religion, socioeconomic issues, Israel, Hamas. We speak about it. This is the month of October, and October is an interesting month in Grenada. In fact, where history is concerned, it is one of the most significant periods. That perhaps is the bloodiest month in Grenada after slavery and colonialism. Left quite a lot of Grenadians traumatized, disillusioned, angry, frustrated, undecided, can't make up their mind. Even today, some they can't determine whether the American invade, whether the American rescued, or whether the American intervened. For the sake of the program on target, I will say the American did all three. Depends on which side of the pendulum you was. The government had been decreed. The Prime Minister and many of the members of the government was executed. A dusk to dawn curfew was declared, shot on sight. The entire Caribbean perhaps was appalled, and Grenadians maybe was in limbo. The Governor General, then the only semblance of authority on the island, called on other CARICOM governments to help. Eugenia Charles. Then we had the General Tom Adams, and also the Jamaica Prime Minister. They already didn't have no tears to shed for Maurice Bishop, and maybe was upset with the Marxist-Leninist socialist experiment in the coup d'etat revolution in Grenada. So they claimed they contact Ronald Reagan and asked for his assistance. The American was just wounded in Lebanon, and they didn't want a better chance to come to Grenada at the request of Paul Schoon and the others. That was their legitimacy for coming. Some Grenadians, particularly the 3,000 plus that was in prison and their family members, and those that was hiding in their home because of fear of the curfew shot on sight, and a number of people named that was rumored to be arrested, they too wanted the Americans to come. And they welcomed the Americans to come. Some was undecided, but they realized that something had to be done, so they say the Americans intervened. And some others say the American invaded. Irrespective of what it was, Grenada had a second chance at democracy. I think we have handled it well so far. From 1984, all elections in Grenada was free and fair. Why do I say that? No opposition was able to successfully challenge in court the result. And within 24 hours, they conceded defeat. So I would say the election was relatively free and fair. Yesterday we celebrated October 19th, the day we had the greatest slaughter in our country. The government, I think, declared it as a Heroes' Day. Have some difficulties understanding why. But this National Democratic Congress government doesn't really follow logic And a lot of things they do doesn't really make sense. Even the hostility towards people in the lower income group, the attack on the elderly, the physically challenged, disadvantaged children, the women of Carriacou and others. The fact that you have a government that get rid of 31 but 3 workers on Grenada Estate. Several weeks before, they congratulated the people there for performing. Identify the estate as a potential for growing weed. They pump up the people, and then they fire them. That is the very said government, I think in 1990, they cut down Belvedere, nutmeg, and plant banana. Nobody understands sometimes why they do what they do. They set up dummy boards, like the one in GDB, that act as a rubber stamp, so ministers of government could get several $1 million from government coffers. That never happened in our history before. Or they believe when they travel, they must travel with a spouse at government expense. These things never happened in our history before. So if they decide to declare October 19 as Heroes Day, it's just one of the other strange decisions that our government make. Several members of the government are involved in selling passports when they themselves are the one responsible to authorize the sale, the final authority. And they do see that as tantamount to a cesspool of corruption. Difficult, just difficult to understand why they do what they do. So I think it's important today for us to talk about it. You see, you have to be careful. I always say, when monkey writes his story, monkey always write. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, caller, welcome.
How are you?
Great.
How's your weekend?
Great, man.
Yeah. Mr. Pierre, I would like to find out what that day, October 19, what positive event that took place that Grenada could rejoice and feel happy and proud of, that October this year could celebrated our national a national holiday and National Heroes Day. Who are those people? Are those who get killed, or those who are shoot for the bullet to kill? Who are the heroes? Did you see any heroes there? Someone who take a life of people, someone who get killed on the foot, right? Jumping to save their life, so I jump, and while they jumping, they come on other people and they get damaged, and they didn't last too long, they die. Some get automatically, some get killed on the foot at that day. What positive thing? What thing that Grenada could see they could celebrate in a positive way, that we could be proud of that day, proud of that. But when you look at this thing, I do believe that when you dream something, and you don't even go back and sit down and think about what you dream, if it makes any sense. You just dream about it and then decide to go ahead and do it. And I remember Ron make an announcement about that, and for himself say, no way, you don't go with that. So you say no, you're going to, but then now you come in and you celebrate that day, right? So who are them? Who are the persons that you want to nominate as heroes? Who are the persons? Those who die or those who are alive? Right? So I can see someone killing people and some people getting killed on the foot. Right? You're nominating them as a hero. Yes, some of them, they do great things. Right? They do great things. So I want to say to the government, they should sit down and celebrate a day of reflection on the 1 and 4 months or 5 months getting into government and reflect on the damage they're doing to the country and damage they're doing to the less fortunate people of the country, making their life more miserable. And they could change the attitude and say, well, boy, these people work hard and they labor to bring greater where it is right now. So let us change our attitude towards the people in the less fortunate people and choose right what you could do for them. Instead of going to celebrate something where there is no positive effect on that day, right? Because when someone take a life, someone life disappear, we celebrate it with someone taking a life, someone killing somebody. We celebrate a man getting killed on the fort. That's what we celebrate it. Disappear. I always
Yes,
see
scholar. Thank
people.
you.
I bless it.
Yes, John Gall tell me, thank God October 19 took place. He said we get rid of all of them in one lash. We get rid of Maurice Bishop and them, and we jail the rest, and we get back democracy. He said it is worthy of celebrating. I asked him about the people who died. He said Hamas and Hezbollah always hide behind innocent people. And the people are dead, they say some innocent have to dead for them to get freedom. I don't agree with them. But you remind me that Maurice Bishop always hide behind women and children. Every opportunity he get. All throughout his history, women and children was protecting this hero NDC want to make. He is the only leader in the Caribbean that women and children always protect. From the time he come in politics, they claim Maurice Bishop hiding behind women. You know, it's like somebody banging on your door in the night. Your wife pull a broom, your children pull cup, and you gone under the bed. Well, when morning comes, it's a big laugh in the community, you know. Your wife pull a broom ready to fight. Children pull cup and plate, they make it nice. Daddy gone under the bed. They say Maurice Bishop always hide behind women and children. And then he make a secret pact and evoke the Angola option. It's interesting history. That is why I encourage oral history, particularly for those of us who don't swallow the grammar book. And maybe we don't have all this intelligence to write book. We must continue telling our stories and hope that our children pass on the story. Because many of them want to thwart the historicity of the past. And it's only by telling your stories publicly that your children may remember a different version. Otherwise, 100 years from now, they will only remember what was written. That's why we have some religious group in Grenada and other countries that say sola scriptura, the Bible and the Bible alone. Well, the Bible was put together 300 years after Christ. So we do not ascribe to sola scriptura. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, man.
And how are you today?
Great, man.
Yes, well, they always thinking about to give the story of the revolution. But if they want to give the whole story, they don't taking it from the top. They're taking it only at the time when they assassinate Maurice Bishop and them on the 4th. But this is not the beginning of the revolution. If they have to give the whole history, they have to go right back to 19 all the way back past 1977, because the overthrow was in 79. when Morris Bishop and them was plotting to overthrow Gary. They have to take it from there with the new Jewel movement and everything. And that is how this Mongoose gang now come and get the name and saying Gary Mongoose gang. Because with the new Jewel movement, I could remember, so Mr. Gary come to have a meeting in Grenville. And he had to have the Mongoose gang and them was as a protest to him, because always he go to have meeting, the new Jewel movement was at his feet. Even this, he had a man that he called Mr. James Miller. He go to attack him in Grenville, and when the Mongoose gang wanted to do what they have to do, he cooled them down. He said, no, leave him alone. And Gary always, when that is where they have to take the thing from the new Jewel movement with Bishop and them. Bishop didn't come. People saying, but Bishop came to finish up with Grenada because he said in a meeting he will make Grenada a desert. When they say Bishop built airport, Mr. Gary had got the land for the airport. Right enough, he said when he took over, but Bishop didn't only build in an airport. When the American and them find out and people are away, used to see all the bad weapon, the kind of weapon what Bishop, the ready from, if it's Cuba away, have it underground. Where he say he built in the airport, it was an air base he started. So they have to take the history from, not only when they kill him on the foot, not only that time. As I tell you, as an elderly woman, when they wanted those things, I have to say I was forced, me and other woman around this area here, forced. We used to be behind Miss Code in meeting because I heard she said in the old days she didn't come to be a deputy prime minister wife. She had to be a prime minister wife before she died. And is when Code and them saw and think what they get to understand with all this weapon and everything what Bishop was planning. Yeah. That is how they come and assassinate him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So when they say they want to give a history, take it from the beginning.
But when you're doing oral history, you don't have no beginning. Because the person that called first might speak in the ending.
That is.
And somebody might speak about the beginning.
Okay.
But you could always put the story together.
Together, yeah. That's right.
Once
so if they want to give a history about Bishop,
a number of people saying the same things,
yes.
Then you think that is authentic.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is what, that is how the history have to be.
Yeah.
I always hear you saying, don't give history in school because history make too much alive.
Yeah, it's a lot of lie. I don't want my children waste time studying history in school.
Because Bishop didn't come really to, and people talking about the American, and they have to say thank God the American and them, when they sent on the full force from America, they have to say thank God they was here, because Bishop, I heard him with my own ears. I used to be in meeting, even though when
he was a great orator.
When Kaunda came, I was at present in Queen's Park Day in the meeting and telling him, for your enemy, far behind you. But
he said the revolution is like a serpent.
Look over your shoulder. Your enemy is right at your footstool.
He didn't like
right
that.
At your footstool.
Once they play it on the radio.
Yeah.
And everybody remember what he said already.
I was at the meeting. When they was in the Doom, the first place when the thing in the Doom, when Gary Doom in Grenada there, I was on the meeting when it come to enter juice.
I like what you say, Gary Doom.
Yes, Gary, where they put the Doom on the thing. I was there when all of them come
for the OS meeting and the conference with acupuncture.
Yeah. Yes, so I don't know what people. If I go to get the history of what this, it'll take.
Well, what people need to do is to always have dialogue with the children.
Yes, that is what.
Where we're going wrong, we are not having dialogue with our children.
That is true.
A lot of our children knows they might be intelligent. They may study the history of Europe and others.
Yes.
But they don't know the history right in our community.
In the country.
And that's why I
documented.
encourage people to tell their children their history.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
because people lying a lot. They're telling
They're
lies
lying a lot.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, mate. I
Yes,
have a
thank
lot
you.
more to say, but somebody
Yes.
else need a chance.
Yes.
God bless.
People
Right.
tend to tawat the historicity. So it's good for people to discuss issues, say what happened in your own communities, share your own experience. This is a good time for that. Yesterday we celebrated October 19 Heroes Day, and this is the first day of the curfew, shot on sight. And by that time, people wondering what is going to happen, whether the Americans are going to come, who is going to rescue Grenada. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good day, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, caller,
So
yes.
you good, man?
Yeah, my brother, good.
I hope you enjoy.
Yes, I had a
Heroes Day.
good time on Heroes Day, celebrating
Yes.
it. Yeah.
Mr. Pierre, a lot of people don't realize what is a hearing. But let me tell them, a hero is a man who changed the course of history in the country, the life of people. For my bishop, he changed the whole Caribbean. Mr. Pierre, he changed the whole English-speaking Caribbean. He changed Grenada, and he changed the people of Grenada for good, forever. That is a man what do it, my bishop. He is a patriot. That is the work of a patriot. A patriot is a man, when they arrest him and they put him in prison, 50,000 Grenadians stand up and they say, we want a leader. That man is a hero.
50,000 is a lot of numbers. Yeah.
50,000 people.
Why didn't say 5 or 6,000?
And they removed the man.
Most school children, you know, it's most school
That is a
children.
hero. They are heroes. They're fighting for, we want a leader. They're fighting for somebody. No other Grenadian will do that for any other person. Let me tell you that, Mr. Pierre. He is a hero. 50,000 Grenadians.
Not 50,000, call up 50,000 a lot.
I ain't talking about the things they do.
Say 5 or 6,000.
Airport and all this kind. I don't know. That one make him a hero. That two things make him a hero. And no other Grenadian could refer to that as a hero. That is a hero. He was a hero. You could change it. Listen to me, Mr. Pierre. The NMP people, the code people and them, the NMP people code people, if they want.
So caller, you think all the people who disagree with October 19 is NNP people?
It's code. Them is code people.
All right, okay, go ahead.
Right? Let me tell you, if code come back and rule this country and he change the date, that is Kit Mitchell, he change the date, there will be 2 more bishops there.
Code is Kitch Mitchell? I wonder if we get it right or we tying up.
October 19, and anyone they want. There will be 2 more bishops there because he will be the hero in all of them. Take that from me, Mr. Pierre.
What you think about we always, caller, you have to face some reality that Maurice Bishop is not an angel and is not a saint.
Yes.
Hold on, caller. So you point out the glowing good things about Bishop, and we point out the negatives. What is your position on the negatives of Maurice Bishop?
What negative of my bishop? He stand up and he fight for his people. That's positive. He said we don't want no joint leadership. He said that I be the leader.
No, caller, he didn't say that. Caller.
He stand up.
Caller, Maurice Bishop did not say that. Maurice Bishop support joint leadership, but he didn't understand how we go work. Right? Maurice Bishop supported joint leadership, but he didn't understand the workability, caller. You there, caller? Yeah. Yes, caller. Maurice Bishop supported joint leadership. And this is what we're speaking about. Yeah. Yes, caller.
Oh, yes, Mr. Pierre, what's it?
Oh, Culture? Good.
What's it? What now?
Good to hear your voice.
What? 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 1983, 1979, Tottenham March 1979, and 1983, October 1983. It's a different to the revolution because you have people who taken from the invasion, which is October 19, and they put in the 1970 Tottenham March 1979, and they take not from 1979 and put in the revolution.
They mix it up, culture.
The revolution is the revolution which was a takeover, and this October 1983 is an invasion. Whosoever comes, and I am like, come and help the Grenadians and like we Grenadians, because this one 1983 it was no worse. Why don't say that? Because gun left, right, center, bombing up taking place. This one killing one another. Cole was the leader when this is Moise live here and he go abroad. He live Code in church. And Code used to do Code doing all what he wants. Code doing a lot of wrong things. That's how he's trying to get rid of this use and to gather his team of army Pierre people. So a lot of people are mistaking the revolution with the invasion 1983. You call a fuck a fuck. You cannot call a fuck a spade. The 1979 is a different thing to 1983.
So, culture, tell us what is your view now on 1983?
I wasn't wrong.
You wasn't wrong in 1983?
No.
You flee the country then? Culture?
Yeah.
You afraid they'll arrest you?
Yeah. After you get arrested too.
No.
2,000 people.
And that tell you it's street communists. And that tell you street communists you have left in Grenada? How did they arrest you?
I was in the hills. I was up in the mountain, man.
And you get away from them Pierre picking you up?
And it's later about, but talking about the revolution, like a lot of them from radio station. Now me like
culture don't run out. Culture don't run out.
No, they don't even know about 1913 March 1979 revolution.
Culture, you know what they do with Mikey? Culture.
What? And all of them who is talking now and say they see what happened and they know what happened and they have one what? In order to arrest you and bring you and ask you from A to Z question. And if you want to know what take place with the body on him, like this is an name too.
Culture, don't get vexed. Don't get vexed, culture. No, you know what happened to Fargo? Culture. Cool down. Culture, cool down. You know why they jail Fargo?
Why they jail Fargo?
Yeah.
No, tell me.
But if you don't know that, what's about the woman in Brudge Grove? You want to kill?
Well, I don't get this one. I don't.
Well, you must know about.
You explain to me.
You must.
Tell me something. Just explain to me good, and maybe how I know.
What about Mikey? Because Mikey from your area, his mother from your area, they take target practice on his foot. You don't know about that?
No.
What about Broco? Broco right from your area to they castrate him.
But they didn't castrate him if they do it. Now they didn't castrate him inside of here. He's outside. A team out there. They was making a move and they get caught. Now Fargo get jail. Now let me tell you something. The president did not come behind Fargo or Fargo did not whatever. Fargo, I don't know what to say. Foolish fella. It's my cousin.
Cool down, culture.
He bloody weed. They come and take his weed. He go and tell the president that he like somebody take you weed. That's why he made jail.
But Bishop
say directly on the farm and pull out the weed.
But Bishop say you could plant weed.
He said you could plant it.
You wasn't there when he said that, culture.
Well, really?
Culture, you wasn't there when Bishop said plant weed.
He didn't say plant weed. He said whatever. Yeah, well, the planting come up. Now we got a lot of that. We to plant a lot of herbs, weed, here and there.
Culture, when they start to arrest Rasta, you run.
The planting of the weed doing bad. And it's not the weed, not the planting of the weed, what bring the problem. It's cold and what bring the problem.
Culture, when they start to arrest, culture, when they start, culture, when they start to arrest Rasta, you run.
That's weird.
Oh, you mean?
If I run, but I had my gun with me though.
You had your gun with you?
I had my thing with me though.
You still have it, culture? Don't answer me, don't answer me.
No,
Culture,
what? I need anybody call back. I'll call back until you program and I need one to answer.
All right, okay.
And I want.
All right, culture. Yes, it's a period of time when we have a lot of emotion, you know, and we have to always be tolerant with one another and not to walk up yourself so much when you're discussing these issues, but you must be able to talk about it. Yes, scholar, welcome.
I tell you, I want to take a 6-month holiday. But maybe that last program I'll be calling on another program, and I want to take a 6 months. But when I come back, I want to meet my lock on my door. I don't want my ex-girlfriend to change my lock, so I ain't giving her no kids, nothing.
Culture, they abuse culture. They abuse.
So,
culture.
I would not be.
Culture.
I would not like for my lock to change.
We go encourage you.
I would not like for my lock to
change. Culture. We go encourage.
Is her new name.
We go encourage.
Good evening.
We go encourage you. Want to break down? You don't go inside you. Where you could lock out. Culture. You have to give her a key. If you're taking a 6 months holiday, you have to give the woman a key. Otherwise, we go encourage her to break down. You don't go inside. You crazy or what? After she go in all inside the room and cook for you and take care of you, you go just lock out. So you is a Muslim or what culture? What's wrong with you? Give the woman a key. You taking a 6 months rest. Give her a key. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre.
Yeah.
Trini.
Yes.
Tell Culture in the revolution. He run and come down in Trinidad and same point for there. He was my neighbor who used to live. You know not more the revolution. Tell him Trini say that. Nice.
Yes. I know you run. Culture. You don't point for 10, man. Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller, welcome. Yeah.
Culture man talking, you know the lock on the door he's talking about? The lock on the door he's talking about Kit Mitchell.
Yeah, I just switched.
Talking about Kit Mitchell lock on his door he's talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
I just switched it to his lock. I know it.
Talking about Kit Mitchell change the lock on the door?
Yeah.
From his wife. That's what Culture talking about.
I thought it was Culture woman, you know. Yeah. I thought it was his woman. He lived in the door for 6 months. So anyway. Yes, thank you, caller. Yeah, Culture spent, a lot of people had to make for Trinidad. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
Mr. Pierre, the caller before Culture, man, eh? I am a Grenadian, I'm a very proud Grenadian. And that guy that was called, that's the one before Culture, man, he's also a Grenadian. But when people abroad listen to this fella speak, they think all Grenadian is stupid, you know.
Yeah, just different views.
While I respect different views, but when this fella speak, there are people that may have the opinion that all Grenadians are stupid. Because you know why I approve with that guy? I does not know if he does not do his research or his mouth
He's a strong
and just mouth.
He's a person of strong party supporters trying to define the party.
Yeah, that is true.
And don't want to acknowledge the facts. You know?
And he had to realize that when he is speaking those garbage on the radio, his grandchildren are children around him. He had to learn to educate them.
We still have to encourage people to have discussion and encourage them to be tolerant.
But the whole thing about that, he does not have a discussion, Mr. Pierre, and he's not tolerant.
I know.
And he's not willing to learn.
But
if this guy willing to learn, he will learn a lot from me, you know.
Yeah, but he coming to come in. We constantly have discussion.
You know, he have to really change his course.
Yeah.
You know, I
it takes
really
time. We have to have tolerance.
Yes, well,
There's
I know that, you know.
Tolerance we need in our
but there are
country.
times we have to know where to draw the line.
Sometimes
you know?
we have engagement with people with some really interesting stories, but they can't even start the story. They're getting emotional.
Yeah, and you know, he have to
So we
learn,
have
and then
to-
he must
yeah.
do research. Don't let people just tell you something and come on the program because, I mean, people know what you, I mean, come on, guy, you know.
We have
Pierre,
to encourage. We have to
yeah,
encourage
in
people.
terms of October 19 and October 25th, as a Grenadian, I was wrong at that time, you know. And if I have to choose to honor a day, I would not choose October 19, you know. I'm going to choose October 25th. Because the stupidness that was taking place in Grenada during that period of time, if the American, whatsoever reason they came in, and they say as a rescue mission, I don't care what mission they was on, but it was welcome, you know. Because during that period of time, Grenada was out of control, you know.
Yeah, shot on sight.
Man, listen,
And
this
4
country
days
was
dust
in a...
to dawn curfew.
Yeah, this country was in a mess,
And during
you
the
know,
4
man.
days, a number of people was arrested. We had
Exactly.
some
Grenada was
vivid
out
girls
of
that
control
was
during that
teachers,
period.
Ruggles, Champy. A lot of individuals was picked up.
I'm telling you.
The drivers who drove the vehicles to bring people to St. George's, a number of teachers was picked up, and rumors was running wild, and shot on sight was gallivanting, and you know, it was just a period of time.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the worst in Grenada history. I mean, could you imagine young secondary school children, they have bag on one side and an AK-47 on the other side? I mean, it is documented, you know.
Some of
And
them
I
had a
am
little,
saying,
one or two of them came from school.
Yeah?
In one instance, and he slammed his gun on the table, and he tell his stepfather move.
Come and tell me something, man.
2 days after, the stepfather in Trinidad, long time, you know.
So we need a rescue mission? We need somebody to come to put peace in Grenada?
Every
and I'm saying,
Tuesday, is man not going on in Trinidad.
yeah?
Culture,
And the whole thing about it, when you
culture
talk
and
about,
all had to flee Trinidad, you know.
when you talk about Heroes Day in Grenada, I don't understand, you know. How could you have, I mean, while yes, I respect Maurice Bishop, but somebody really, so can somebody enlighten my darkness? How could Maurice Bishop be a hero? I don't understand this. For the definition of hero, how, I mean, come on, man.
You see, caller, they have a saying, where some people go in cussing, others can go praying. Since you little must have heard that, Bishop was an orator. He was very charismatic. People love him. He practically had a magnetic charm. So people love the personality. And plus that he could speak well. You see how they're blaming all the negatives on Code. But all the good things, they say is Bishop that do it. Even what Gary did, they say is Bishop that do it too.
I mean, I respect the guy,
So,
but please, with the hero business is concerned, let us just,
we have to continue to dialogue.
yes.
People
All
will
right,
take
Pierre.
time, yeah.
Yes, sir.
We have to continue to point out to people some of the evils that was done by Maurice Bishop. You see, the biggest fake in this thing is Deacon Mitchell. You know? Deacon Mitchell want to prey on a next man popularity. Deacon Mitchell read a lot about Bishop, and he want to use Maurice Bishop popularity to develop his character. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon.
Yes, my brother, welcome.
I said to you on diverse occasion that I love your program and I love listening to you. But I think it reached to a stage now that people must be careful and must take the program for what it is. That gentleman, every time you ask him a question, he shade away from it and he calls back and give you and wants to answer. Wait. That is indiscipline. He can want to control your program. He is not prepared to answer questions you ask, but he intends to call back. If we want to have a cordial thing, we don't have to agree with what he says, and he don't have to agree. But he cannot dominate the program. And that is high-class domination, because what he's doing is that he's saying things. If you question him on it, he's not giving any answer, but he will call back and make a point again. That's not fair. That is totally not fair. Right? And I learn a lot from your program. I love the program, but I'm saying the gentleman must have respect for other people. Right? And a lot of what Cultureman say there is wild talk. But I mean, everybody have the opinion to it. My substantial thing is that I heard a little piece of news this morning, earlier on, where the government said that they give the housing authority full authority to distribute the houses to the relevant rights person. They give them full authority. So, in other words, the government, in my opinion, is saying that everything is out of their hand. The housing authority will do it to suit them. And they also said in the news that the lending agencies are on board. I don't know what's happening. To me, I will hope you will listen to that piece of news. I got that piece of news because to me, the way the news give is like everything is settled with who have to get houses. And we have a minister, our ex-minister, who is sitting on the other side now, who is sitting in the NDC. She was in Parliament last time, she was in Parliament before, and we never heard anything from her. And she told us, she guaranteed the people that all would be well with them and they would get their houses. She said that before she left, and she said that after, for that matter, she started the process of giving people the keys in their hand in Carriacou and whatnot. And she said the process will continue. And she had promised when the people will get houses. No, the people is not getting the, we can't say they're not getting, but there's a mix-up. We have not heard that lady's voice, and she still sits in the parliament. That again is hypocrisy. If you're representing the people, you can represent them halfway, or when you feel like you are still the people's representative. She was calling on people to come across with her. So why not explain to us now the thoroughness of it? She had the best gauge on it because she was the minister concerned when the house was ready.
Because sometimes we have to wake up. I always say to people, 2 points you make there, one of God. One of them, the National Democratic Congress does not seek the interests of people in the lower income group. They're always hostile to people in that group. They did it in 1990 color. In 2008, 2013. This is the worst period. The National Democratic Congress find the houses too good for the people in the low income group. So they take it for themselves, their friends and people in the diaspora. And well, that is the policy.
Yeah, but if there's a policy...
They introduce restorative justice. The Prime Minister of Grenada said, we campaign on a policy of transformation, but it is not so much transformation, it is more restorative justice. Restorative justice is political vengeance. They set up a ministry for political mischief. These people are vultures. You still talking about whether they will give you a blind house? You have a group of vultures in the country, leading the country. We're afraid to call the Prime Minister of Grenada a fake. But he trick and deceive the Imani. He lied to the people in the contract and the people that were killing us in Grenada. You know?
Yeah, I accept.
That is what killing us in Grenada. The Prime Minister lie.
Mr. Pierre, I accept what you say, but what I'm saying is, what about the other person that will be putting themselves up for leaders or for
that is how we know.
Yes, what I'm saying is, I'm saying that these people are not showing any example for people to put up other persons for candidates. When you do that, because you're not showing representation.
The National Democratic Congress historically has been hostile to people in the lower income group. You cannot say that about the NNP. This period of time is the worst. They plan lie in the lab, sit down in a room and plan lie. They deceive people. They trick the elderly. They take money from disadvantaged children and women. And now they find the houses that was there for the low-income people too good. They take it away from them. You want more vultures than that?
Yeah, but I'm saying is...
These people are fake and they are vultures. What killing us? We refuse to call the Prime Minister of Grenada a fake. He lied. He tricked the elderly people, disadvantaged children.
am not.
They had their mouthpiece calling people nasty and classless.
Accept
Well, what you
all
expect more from them?
Accept all of that. I am not against when in my opinion the present prime minister do things that I don't like. I come.
So you support him for agreeing that Grenadians is classless?
No.
I don't hear you and cry come out in Grenada about that, you know.
No, but I'm saying
how
based on what we just heard on the news, that the government have leave it up to the.
Well, that is small matter. If you could call people nasty
to the housing authority.
Well, they select the housing authority. A rubber stamp. The housing authority color is a rubber stamp.
I accept that.
I would call them dumb-driven kettles. They are rubber stamp. Just as the GDB board, the MNIB board they set up. We are looking around, shifting in the sun. I mean, just face the truth and reality.
I don't know, but something is definitely wrong with Grenada at this point.
No, nothing wrong with Grenada.
No, we're not.
No, something is wrong with the NDC, not Grenada. Well, let us give jacket where it is now. Something is wrong with the NDC.
But the NDC in power now. And
yes, they're in power, but they lie to the public. So we, of course, it doesn't matter.
I am not putting any
caller, it doesn't matter whether they did 5 years, 10, 15. They lie to the Imani. They lie to the people in the lower income group. They take money from the elderly. They disadvantage. They take money from disadvantaged children. And now they're taking the houses that was destined for the people in the lower income group, and they decide to give it to people in the diaspora and people who could go in the bank and get a loan to build a house. What more you want than that?
I'm highly disappointed.
You say disappointed is... I think we have to start to call these people vultures. They are vultures. And we have to point it out. Deacon Mitchell become now a pathological liar.
I'm not impressed with the behavior of these people.
Well, say that. And when you call on our program, we tell you the truth. When I speak about the revolution, I say if I have said anything...
Attitude and behavior of some of the callers who feel that they want to dominate the program, you call and...
Caller, if Deacon Mitchell behaving so, I must be tolerant to the callers. Because Grenadians are real tolerant to Deacon, these other vultures. If we want to be tolerant to these intellectuals that posing around the country, but we want to be intolerant to culture man and other colors.
No, I have nothing against culture man.
We just have to be more tolerant.
Culture man have to understand that when you call...
But remember, Deacon and don't even exposing themselves to the press. They don't come in on, you can't even ask them questions.
They'll give you information when it's needed.
Yeah. Yes, thank you, Colin.
Thank you.
We have to continue discussion on the ground. We have to continue to, I does hunt down NDC stalwarts for discussion. I like to have discussion with them. I want to know why they're thinking the way they're thinking. Sometimes they try to avoid me, but sometimes I corner them. And I ask questions. How could you justify taking away the houses that was geared for people in the lower income group? You went to the United Nations and you agree to have a financial obligation for people in the lower income group. How could you now justify taking the houses from them and giving it to people who could go in the bank and get a loan? How could you justify that? Now, who are the people you're taking the houses from? Because we must practicalize this thing. The government is taking the houses from people like the Imani, like caregivers, the people who normally involved in debushing. They don't have permanent work, but they get debushing when it could, and they do pankwai here and there. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Yeah, somehow I like the way that you handle the last caller very, very, very much, Mr. Pierre. In that he was promised a job by the government. And then they send him a letter of dismissal instead. And he's frustrated, so he doesn't know. In other words, he's bothering, we play marble, you bother him here, you bother him there. He's trying to see what might happen. So he, on one stage, you hear him say, Kit Mitchell, he giving Kit Mitchell 90%, 80%, he's that great mathematician. And he's saying that so much people love Deacon Mitchell. And he bragging up so much people love Deacon Mitchell, but not one day could hear him saying, or appreciating the things that you say, Deacon Mitchell as a vulture. And those people who are being victimized by him. But all he's doing, playing away that he's going to get a contract just now. That's what he's doing. Thank you.
I don't think this man care about contract. I think this individual expressing his views have had opportunity to hold discussion with him off the air, and he is consistently like that. He tends to try to be objective and give everybody a fair deal, and sometimes look at the good side of people and be hopeful. That is the manner in which he speaks on most issues. So I don't think he's really boring. But I believe it is important. I believe it is very important when a government seems to consistently deceive people in the lower income group. I've said on a number of occasions, I'm not on radio trying to champion the cause of trade unions. Yes, caller, welcome.
I always say Clifford is a hypocrite. That's all I have to say. He's a hypocrite. You don't know. You have a 2-tongue, a 5-tongue, a 6-tongue, all kind of.
Okay.
I don't know what people have to say. That your feelings is yours, but mine is mine. He's a 2-tongue doggy.
Yes, caller. Thank you. I always say that I'm not championing the cause of teachers, of public officers, policemen, because they have strong unions. They have strong organization. They have the public service rules and regulation, and they could get recourse in the court. So I tend not to bother with their issues. There are times when I'll make suggestions for them to get involved in the private sector, and et cetera, et cetera. But we have a government that historically is hostile to people in the lower income group. I don't even see the political justification for the action. But this group of NDC individuals is the worst group. I consider them as vultures. Every day you see what they do unfold. They first started with the attack on the women of Carriacou. Then they go after the elderly, the physically challenged, disadvantaged children. Then they came and they said they're paying tuition for everybody. But I asked the Minister of Education, how many children, disadvantaged children, did you screw to get the money to pay for everybody tuition? The previous government was paying tuition for all those who couldn't pay. So you're not adding a plus for them. You take out money from them and you add on individuals whose parents could comfortably pay the tuition. Then the government went further and they decided the low income houses for people who had difficulty getting a loan in the bank because their salary that they're working for is so small, the bank don't want to deal with them. So government design a method of rent to own. They give you a small amount to pay, 200, 300. But you're renting to own. So when you finish pay, you own the building. Yes, caller, welcome, punch. And use the last person for the day. No preamble, punch.
Yes, I agree with the last caller, Clifford, you are 2-tongue babu.
Okay, caller. Thank you. Now, so what you have is the government decide, no, this house is looking too good. We cannot give it to Imanis. We can't let caregivers have it. We can't give it to supermarket workers. We can't give it to workers who work in the gas station. We can't give it to people who involved in debushing. They won't be able to take care of it. We can't give it to them. We can't give it to the daily pays in some government offices that making under $1,000 a month. We're going to give it to people who could go in the bank for it. Now, remember, the 9 vultures we have in this country is our children, you know. We make them. They're not Europeans. They're not white people. They're not from China, Russia. We can't blame colonialism and imperialism for them. They are our people. They didn't design the housing system, you know. They meet it there. In 2008, 2013, they wanted to give back the Chinese to get money. 1,000 houses to get money. The opposition then objected. The Chinese didn't concede to them. Now they come, they decide that these houses are too good for people in the lower income bracket. When we say people in the lower income bracket, you must know which Grenadians are in the lower income bracket. And I advance the argument that if you owning less than $3,000 a month, and you have any format of family, even though it's one child, you're in the lower income group. The government own statistics tell you that they would not charge you tax because you fall in the lower income group. And I don't care whether you work in St. George's University, whether you work in Steel Auto, in Hubbards or Hoggins or Courts, because a lot of people working in the private sector believe them is heavyweight. If you are making under $3,000 a month and you have one dependent, you're poor, you're financially vulnerable. The bank don't like you. And these low-income houses is for people in your category. Some people might have inherited wealth and they're in a better position. We're not speaking about people who inherit wealth. We're not speaking about workers who parents mining them still because they're not paying rent home. The parents in a good position and nothing wrong with generational wealth. But if your total income is less than $3,000 and you have as much as one dependent, you have a child, you have a man that's sick, either working, you have a grandparents, you have somebody that depend on you, you have a physically challenged child, you're poor, you're vulnerable. These houses are for you. You cannot get a loan in the bank easy. These vultures that we have take the dream away from these homeowners and they offer it to people in the diaspora. After they promised Grenadians to build 500 Grenadian-style houses per parish, per annum. Yes, scholar, and that is a good point to stop. So we're back with you again tomorrow between 12 and 1. And remember, we have Paraclete Catholic Harvest, Holy Spirit Harvest on October 25th. A good time to celebrate. Come to Paraclete for our harvest. Thank you very much.